what I noticed was that the flesh, because of your preserve and everything, haikuwa inakaa red, ilikuwa inakaa brown, like imepikwa. And for like 2 weeks after that, I couldn't eat meat.
I couldn't eat nyama choma until second year.
Yeah, because it looks exactly
because it looks the same.
Yeah,
really though.
Even
it
like
does.
there's times when I'm eating meat and I'm just like, what the fuck? This is a sartorius.
Crazy.
Like it just looks like something we did in the Anat lab.
Medmic.ke.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Medmic.ke. Today in studio with me is the lovely
Unita Iziki. I'm so excited to do this episode. Yeah.
And
Jimmy Njoroge, the real G. Let's go.
and I'm your host, Lynn Kanana, and we're gonna get right into the episode. This is a really fun episode that we're so excited to bring to you. But before we start, let's do a little bit of an ice of like
breaking the ice.
Breaking the ice. I was trying not to use that word.
Why?
What have you guys been watching?
So yesterday I watched interview Oprah Winfrey and Viola Davis. They were discussing her book.
Okay.
I'm a strong. Nowadays I don't like identifying as a strong black woman.
Please,
I'm just
same.
People.
Nitoe kwa hiyo WhatsApp.
Yeah, like every time you say you're strong, someone wants to see that.
To see how strong you really are.
Yeah.
They want to push and see, are you really strong?
Yeah. So nowadays I'm a fragile black woman.
You're just a baby. You're just a girl.
You're just a baby. I'm still children, you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I was watching. It was really interesting. I think it's because I've read the book.
You're really him.
What? I know.
I read it a while back.
She's really her.
Oh.
Pronouns.
I'm so
Pronouns.
We don't wanna get in trouble with the
Exactly.
police, the gender police.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that stuck with me was how Viola was talking about her role in How to Get Away with Murder, and she was talking about how black women are never portrayed as sexy, desirable, they can achieve amazing things, and she was able to show people that.
Yeah,
and it's easier to believe you can become something when you see people who look like you becoming that thing. Yeah. So it was
representation
amazing.
matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you watching?
What I was watching, I don't think it should be said on the air.
Incognito.
Say incognito. Acha hizo.
Guys, this is a very dignified platform.
On a lighter note, Unita has really set the standard.
I know, we should have not started with her.
I know.
We should have finished with you.
Like, I was prepared to say I was watching anime. There's some show called Dinner in Dungeon.
You can still
really
say that.
Nice.
Okay.
But sasa hakuna moral
This
lesson. There's no moral lesson to
Dinner in Dungeons.
Anyway, there's a show called Dinner in Dungeon, basically, where like guys are in a dungeon. As they're trying to fight like the big boss, they really have to survive by eating the monsters in there. So it's sort of like they're eating the monsters themselves. So now the monsters are no longer the predators, they're the prey, which is
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's quite fancy. So it's
How
been really
the
fascinating.
turntables.
Yeah,
The
how the
turns are really
turntables.
Yeah.
Exactly. Plus it's sort of a move away, a shift from what I've been watching. I watch a lot of history stuff. Yeah, there's a show on YouTube called Oversimplified. Guys, if you ever want to learn history like in a fun way, go check out that
I watched
YouTube
that
channel.
when I was reading for like KCSE.
Exactly, that show's like really good. But KCSE,
I'm wondering why you're watching this as your pastime.
Yes, but it's
You
fun.
need help.
It's
So
low-key
judge.
giving nod, but okay.
Personally, I don't even want to be that guy, but I watched Sifuna's interview on Mic Check podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never sat down for 3 hours and watched a politician. That was insane. And it's 100%. I'm recommending it to everybody who lives in Nairobi and like young. Please go and listen to that guy.
But I feel like it makes sense, Amma.
Yeah, he does
is
make
so,
sense.
I was even telling my mom, this is the first politician that I've seen. He's not giving politician. Like, he's just giving normal.
Yeah.
Like, he's yapping to a bunch of other kids and he's giving one of them. So I was like, okay, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
To my link.
To my link,
Yeah.
To a plug because they're not paying us, but nitakutumia link.
Yeah.
See, but he's the same guy who told someone that I'm not belittling what you've said. You have small points. It was like
Yeah, it was him.
I'm
He's
saying
really
welcome
him.
say.
And, wow. I feel like I can sit here and talk about Sifuna until tomorrow.
Yeah, anyway,
But because we don't have that kind of time,
it's true.
we can just get into today's topic, which is a two-parter. So we have your experience in the anat lab for the first time,
Ooh.
and then your experience in the morgue for the first time. So we're gonna start with you, Nita. How was your anat lab experience
My
for the
anat lab
first time?
experience, it was, I don't know, like you walk in and you see wanakwanga wamefunikwa na like polythene. There's cotton, there's like loads of cotton, and then there's polythene,
Yeah.
the cadavers,
Yeah, that's
and you
true.
just walk in and it just, these are people. It didn't hit me. It took a while for it to click that ni watu wamefunikwa. Even there's a point in time they were walking around and like with plans and everything. And there was this one specific guy. He had a bullet wound.
Oh my.
And guys, he had the tag. You know the tag, and your body's on on their toes.
Yeah.
And guys looked for him online.
Oh damn.
Really?
Yeah.
They found
I also
him.
have a story similar to that.
They found his Facebook account, and they looked up like how he died, and apparently he was shot.
That's so screwed up.
Yeah, he was shot. I think.
I mean, no shit,
naiba.
Sherlock. He had a bullet wound.
Screw you, man.
Captain Obvious.
I mean, you can have a bullet wound and not die from it.
Yeah.
Ask 50 Cent.
Oh. Hey.
Many men.
Yeah.
How many people are we going to plug? We could get sued, guys. You're out here name dropping people.
Check a till.
But
Anyway.
yeah, for me, it was kulikuwa na that whole, these are people realization. But then the minute you open up the bodies, you even forget.
Oh, you guys did your own dissection.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did dissection for ourselves. So like, and then you start with a bum, and then the woman we got was really endowed.
She was curvaceous.
Way. So at some
She was
point,
blessed.
unaanza kukasirika because the way you have no, not because of that, you guys. Wachani niwaambie kitu.
Cook.
Because like you have to dig like to get the muscles, and so unapata the progress you're making is so slow compared to other groups.
Okay.
So
Why?
it starts becoming frustrating.
Why were you
Because
unable
the
to
babe
raise the
had
muscle?
nyash.
Oh,
She
nyash.
had nyash for days.
So see,
For days.
Yeah. So like that
damn.
it became frustrating at some
Okay.
point. The minute mshanza could dissect, you forget it's a person, right?
Yeah.
Even you find people wanamlalia wakipumzika.
Yeah, it's true.
And we had
It's true.
lecturers who will take that so personally that come and like, wanatuambia nikikupata ukilalia cadaver, I'll kick you out. And then so you forget it's a person until you go to neuro and you have to shave their hair.
Yes.
oh my
And
goodness.
use a saw to cut their skull.
What the
Yeah.
And
hell?
take their brain out, and you're like, fuck, this is a person. That's when
Yes.
you remember that it's a person you are dealing with.
You guys did this stuff live.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Yeah, you have to shave their hair.
Shave
What?
it.
It's like now a morgue.
Yeah, and no one in my table wanted to do the kukata na saw. And it's not like an automatic saw that's just it's you're there.
Back and forth, back
Damn.
and forth,
Forth.
back and forth.
And you're looking, and now you are being advised while you're doing that, you cover their face. I didn't get why, because the minute you're seeing someone's face while you're
Doing the thing.
hey, that thing, it stays with you.
It's very traumatizing.
It's traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was basically my experience. And then you take the brain out and then you forget it's a person.
You start looking for the
You're
temporal
like
lobe.
hypothalamus
Yeah,
to
exactly.
copy.
Where's the hypothalamus?
Yeah,
Where are the
yeah.
gyri?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was basically my experience in a
Oof.
nutshell.
That's heavy. We're
Yeah.
gonna come back to that, but like that's really heavy. How was yours?
My
Because
experience.
mine is not the same.
I am so sorry.
Now mine sounds way lighter because as we didn't do any dissection.
Yeah.
We got there, the bodies were already dissected. When we got to neuro, they brought brains like that had been in formalin.
Oh, okay.
They were already dissected. I think BSc or other students would dissect the bodies first during the weekends.
Yes.
And so we'd find things. And then we just, you just look for sartorius, you see it over there.
Yeah.
You just look for gluteus, you see it. And then you go, Kwanzaa, I loved anat lab. That was more of a
Really?
social,
Ooh.
that was a social event. That's the only
Yeah.
time I would be in school in first year. Because just to prefix, I am the first COVID class.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
post-COVID.
Post-COVID.
So we didn't have any interaction. So anat lab was just coming, dress up, see your friends.
Yeah.
If you're dissect, that's just me because I
Okay.
did fail.
Oh, damn. Well, that I know that was a curveball. Like you love the nut love, but you feel the nut.
as bad as you guys.
No, she was going to vibes.
She was going there for vibes.
It was a social.
For vibes.
Yeah, she vibed with the nut, but her nut did not vibe with her, man.
Come on. It
I
was
wonder.
just damn.
Oh my.
Was that the same for you now?
So I was the pre-COVID class when I was coming to the anatomy lab. I was so curious. I came a week before we had our first dissection session because nakwanga kierere. It's normal. So
No, it's not. This is a uniquely you experience.
no. Guys. We're in med school. Most of us were the nerds of our schools. Let's admit it. Anyway,
Say
moving on.
I. Me
Blah,
personally, I was there
Mimi
for a good
kama
time.
Jimmy Njoroge.
So anyway, yeah, I showed up a week before and I remember asking if I could go into the lab to just see what was happening and what was going to be done there. Then what these guys did, he was just like, you don't worry, you don't have to go in today. You'll get bored with it. You'll have so much time with your cadaver, you won't need to like see it again. And he was right, because the first week I came in, we were told that if you're really scared, it's time for you to leave medicine. So this is like the first cut off, like you're in the anatomy lab, you can't really handle death. This is not your place, just leave, man.
I think that's just cap to scare you.
I know. So we were told that. I went in, I was a bit apprehensive. I didn't know how I will take it. And then I was so unimpressed by what I saw, unfortunately, because the cadavers that we find have been, these are individuals who've died for a while.
That's okay.
So they don't really look as human as we'd expect it. They still have some human features, but they don't really look human. So I saw it and I was like, this is it. Okay, let's start cutting. And then we started cutting. Our cadaver was almost so female. Side notes, my table had 7 guys and 1 lady. And the lady dropped out.
Are you serious?
It was crazy.
I was actually the only lady on my table as well.
Wow.
The other one dropped out, but she went to get married.
I was also going to get married.
Why are you saying it like if you leave to go get married, that makes sense?
Not gonna lie, I would leave to get married now. I don't even know why I said it like that.
Yeah, so it was like every time coming to the anatomy lab, it wasn't at coming to see your friends. It was bonding with the boys. It was bonding with the boys. We had 2 master students. They were also male. I mean, that table was just pure testosterone. So when we were interacting with the cadaver, like no one really wanted to talk about how they were feeling about it. All we wanted to do was just cut. So make your incisions. Yeah, this is business. We don't care how you feel. So you show up there. Cadaver is female. We're cutting through. She also had a lot of nyash as well. So it was crazy, man, cutting through it, getting there. And then this lecturer comes in and he's like, show me 5 things you've seen. And suddenly you've forgotten everything you've learned. So you're just looking there and you're like, this looks like meat. This meat has names. Crazy. Now the thing about our cadaver was she had a name. She had
really?
like she had like a KNH band,
Wow.
and it had her name on it, and it showed also the date of birth and the date of death. So we realized she was the same age as we were.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was. We were all 18 years old at the time. She was 18 years old as well. She died like 6 months earlier before we joined med school. So that was dark, man.
Yeah,
That was
I
dark.
can
that's
imagine.
chilling.
Yeah, that was some dark stuff.
That sounds really traumatic. Like, you guys sound like everything was just really light for you. I don't know if that's the correct word.
Yeah,
for
Mambo,
it.
you're quite alive.
When he was talking about his experience, I remembered I actually got a chance to enter the anatomy lab before I joined medicine.
Wow.
Yeah, so my brother did BSc Anat basically, so alikuwa very familiar with
Nice.
the department. So yeah, so when I was trying to make the decision, what to pick, like medicine, he'd offered to give me like a tour of med school, and one of the places we got to visit was the Anat lab.
Okay.
And that's the experience that traumatized me, because I remember there was a face of a woman and her skull had been cut into half vertically, and her mouth was open and it looked like she was screaming. You get?
Oh, damn.
And then what I noticed was that the flesh, because of your preserve and everything, haikuwa inakaa red, ilikuwa inakaa brown, like meat imepikwa. And for like 2 weeks after that, I couldn't eat meat.
Oh,
I couldn't
am so
eat
sorry,
nyama
man.
choma until second year.
Yeah,
Oh.
because it looks
For real?
exactly
because
like,
it looks the same.
yeah.
Really though?
Even
It
like
does.
I
there's
loved
times
meat
when
poison
I'm
first,
eating meat and I'm just like, what the fuck? This
Yo,
is a
that's
sartorius.
crazy. That's crazy.
Like it just looks like something we did in the
I
anat
thought it
lab.
means that you guys now eat meat properly now because you know which part you're eating.
Get the
I
get
know,
out.
I know, right? This tastes like glutes.
Tastes like a gluteus.
This tastes like a glutes.
But I feel like we haven't even touched on the smell because
Oh my God, yeah,
that
that's a
for
big
me
part
was
of it.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
And then now, well, I'm gonna use this moment to transition into the morgue.
Mm-hmm.
After not being in the anat lab for some time,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to the morgue for the first time. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
the first time I went to the morgue,
Mm-hmm.
they were in the middle of an autopsy.
Ooh.
So I came in when they were already funguad the GIT, and it's just
yeah.
smelling like 2 packs of ass. And I was just like, what the hell? No.
Actually, 2 packs of what?
It smelled so
You
bad.
I have a
Everyone
theory
remembers
that
that
everyone remembers their first post-mortem experience.
Mm.
Oh,
Well,
definitely.
you
I
walk
have-
in
yeah,
the
definitely.
middle
I
of
have
it,
one.
but,
After I walked in, I walked out. I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm
Screw
not
this
your
shit.
strongest
There's
soldier at
no
the
way.
moment.
Uh,
I have an autopsy that I followed really closely. And it was a very, I wouldn't say high profile, but it was a very serious and well followed and scrutinized case. And I did everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of looking her up on social media because
Oh
she
my.
was something like an influencer.
Yeah.
oh.
And I looked her up and I'm going through her Instagram.
Mhm.
Bro, I saw this babe's skull being raruliwad from her head. What do you mean I'm seeing her Instagram? That was now the experience that I think I
Yeah.
remember.
I think for me, the part that really gets to me, okay, first of all, my first post-mortem, there was a baby. So that really stuck with
Ooh.
me.
A
It really
child.
broke my heart.
I've never watched a pediatric
Oh,
autopsy. I
wow.
don't have the heart for it.
That
Yeah,
thing. Kwanza,
that one is not really fun to watch.
they had aspirated kerosene. So
No.
yeah.
Who
So
left that
it
baby
was
with the
pneumonia
kerosene?
secondary to that.
Yeah.
Oh, aspiration pneumonia, damn. Okay.
Yeah, I remember for me the most chilling part was how they take all the organs, brain, everything. Okay, first of all, before we get to that, there's this. First of all, see, they make the
The Y
Y-shaped
incision.
cut.
Yes.
And then they detach all the organs from inside, and then they pull everything, including the tongue, from the
They
stomach.
rip it
Yes.
They just shoop, everything comes out.
That's some
I was
Mortal
like, you
Kombat shit,
guys,
man.
this is how we chinja a kuku. You can't be doing the same thing to a person. And
Wait,
then
mnachinjanga kuku hivyo kwenu?
see unatwanga like
The
intestine.
intestine
Oh,
organ.
okay.
Yeah,
Relax.
like you take.
You see why I was saying this is why you guys can eat meat better now because you know how
Because you
these
know
things-
everything that happens.
Yeah,
No,
no.
even I'm
You know,
actually
perfect
better
skills.
at slaughtering chicken.
No,
Oh
but-
my
anatomy.
goodness.
Yeah,
These are
yeah.
secondary benefits of medicine.
This is so dark.
And then see now they also like rip open like the brain and then
Yeah.
they take it out. And then when I cut everything, including the brain, kwa the
Into-
abdominal cavity,
Me,
Yes.
my
they
problem
stuff it
is
inside.
that the
like
tray they put
cotton.
it on. They
Yeah.
put it on a tray, then they just morgue it. So you're just hearing sloshing
Yeah.
sounds going inside. And I'm like, what the fuck? That was
And
her,
then
that was her
wanashona, you
everything.
see, ushona gunia mchele kishonwa.
Yeah.
Before, that's how they shona it. And then they take cotton wool, wanajaza kwa kichwa to
Kwa
give
kichwa, yeah.
to give the
To
head
give
back.
it volume.
Oh my god! And the way they,
Exactly.
and the way they peel off the face.
Yes.
That's what does it for me.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Unararua aje skin ya mtu. Like, why are we acting like ninguo?
But they actually do that in surgeries as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Your scalp can be okay. Now we're not going to anatomy. We'll move on.
It's a good
It
thing
is a kind of,
because if you had to cut the face, imagine how viewing the body will be hard.
Exactly.
So they just wanaitoa,
Oh, okay.
they do
the top.
everything, and then unarudisha uso yako.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this episode is graphic, eh?
It's
Yeah.
very graphic. So if
I
you're
know.
not in med school and you want to join med
I
school,
think we should give a warning.
this
at
is
the beginning.
probably what's coming
Yeah,
for
true.
you.
Yeah,
True.
so that was crazy. And then every time, for me, honestly, I was traumatized. Every time nikifunga macho after that, the image used to come to my head. And I didn't
Yeah, autopsy.
autopsy.
Yes.
And I didn't realize I was traumatized mpaka later on when I was talking to my parents and my brother and they were asking me how's school. Nikawambia, oh, by the way, I got to see my first autopsy. This and this happened. And then I realized I was crying in the middle of
Wow.
kupeana your story.
Whoa.
I didn't even realize kulikuwa na tears flowing down my
Yeah,
face.
that's crazy.
And then they were like,
That's crazy.
and then the fact that it's my very African dad who said, maybe you should talk to someone.
That is
It's
crazy.
my dad who
that's serious.
suggested therapy.
That is crazy.
Really?
Because like I imagine you're talking about something and you're crying. And no
Yeah.
one like hata wewe how realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how that's how I started doing therapy.
Oh,
You went
for
to
real?
therapy for med school.
For med school because of
med
postmortems.
school related issues.
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, nilikuwa nimeenda therapy once before,
Oh,
but that didn't do it for me. So yeah, but the second time I went back to therapy na nikaka, it was actually after watching that autopsy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you have any bad experiences with autopsies or something that had a lasting impact?
Well, I saw this guy. I met this guy. It was so interesting.
This
He
guy
was.
is deceased.
Yeah, of course, he's deceased.
Hey, you know, I was wondering.
Why are you saying you
I
met this
wonder.
guy? Like,
Yeah, like this guy was on the
wonder.
table or like.
So relax, I'm getting to it. Let me
Yeah,
cook.
cool. Okay.
Yeah, so this guy was lying on the table, fresh cut. That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, this guy has a fade, and his beard was really well shaven.
Yo.
Yeah, so he had like a really nice goatee on him, and he was light skinned, good looking guy. I was like, damn.
Pause.
damn.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. That is too crazy.
Okay, if you're going to do it like that,
Paka-
okay.
Mpaka mwili unakatia. That's so crazy.
So relax, ikati him too. Wait, keep away. Yeah, so yeah, he was a good looking man, probably about 5'8", lying there. Looked like he was asleep. Didn't get what was going on with him. So
Was it a clinical case?
no, it was actually an RTA.
Okay.
Yeah, he died 3 days prior to when I met him. So he was there lying on the bed.
Okay, what's an
okay.
RTA? I'm gonna ask.
Road traffic.
Road traffic accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Oh, sorry. We use a lot of acronyms a lot. So he's lying there. I don't see anything wrong with him. Maybe a few bruises here and there. So I'm wondering, what could have
What happened?
killed this
Yeah.
guy?
Caused it?
So Kumbe, I was seeing the good side. So I was on his left side. It looked okay. On his right side, his thigh was just screwed up, man. Like his femur had been fractured in 3 places. His ankle just looked bent out of shape. His right arm was like just screwed up. I think I said, but still, people get fractures a lot.
They
What could have
survive.
really killed this guy? So one of these prominent lecturers shows up to do the autopsy, and he does the craziest thing. I mean, he says this guy probably died because his C1, his first vertebra, the atlas, dislodged from the skull. And how do you check for that? He's
Neck
held the neck.
dissection.
Yeah, no, he held the neck and he held the head and he sort of moved the head forward. So there was a click sound. Like,
Wow.
that was so screwed up.
Wow.
As in, what?
And then at that moment, it clicked for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wemze.
I'm sorry.
As in, yes, that was so dark. Yeah. As in, you just had that click sound. And he was like, next time when someone has a neck fracture, you do this. You'll probably know that it has dislodged. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, so I was like, whoa, that's crazy, man. That's just crazy. As in, even everything else that happened after wasn't really a problem, but just that click, that stuck with me. Then afterwards, I went to a morgue somewhere. And then I saw someone being brought in, and I was like, damn, is the same thing going to happen to this guy? Is it going to click for this person too? I didn't know. So it was just crazy. No pun intended. Yeah, so I ended up, I actually did get traumatized. Difference is I didn't go into therapy, but yeah, it was just sort of like built to imejiongeza kwa my emotional trauma, my long list of problems. Yeah, that's where I get my humor from, guys. Anyway,
That's why you're so funny.
yeah, exactly. I use that for material
Let
nowadays.
it be known that I'm not saying he's funny.
Wait. You know I'm funny, Kanana.
It's
You
too
know.
late.
But
Anyway.
now I feel like another thing that really messed me up or just affirmed something in me, I didn't know how many mob justice incidents are in this country.
And they happen so much.
Every single day I've been to the mortuary.
Oh,
An autopsy is being done on a mob justice victim.
Oh, that's
Somebody was
crazy.
burnt.
Oh,
Somebody
damn.
was... And you're just like, what the hell is going on?
You know what's messed up? My first day watching autopsies, we also had a case that was mob justice, and the worst part, it was mistaken identity.
guy.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
That's horrible.
So poor guy.
He died for something he didn't even do.
That's crazy. I'm haunting you. I'm coming in your
I'm sorry.
nightmares.
Just come back,
'Cause what are you
man.
talking
And
about?
also ban cases. There's so many.
Oh,
Another one that I
Especially
wasn't
for kids.
ready for was kids falling on the stairs.
oh yeah.
Because what do you mean? I don't think I've seen any other pediatric. I don't go to the mortuary to see the autopsy, but I read the report.
Yeah.
And nearly all of them fell from first floor, fell from second floor.
Ooh.
Burns are also
Asphyxia.
pretty common.
Sorry, burning.
Yeah, burns.
And I'm just like,
Getting hit by a lorry.
what is going on in this country? Like, I don't want to be that guy, but it kind of desensitizes you.
It does.
True.
And for a long time, I was 100% convinced when you get to med school and you go to the anat lab first, and then you end up the pipeline to the morgue. It's to kind of make you be okay with death.
Yeah, but like
yeah.
it's fucked up how no one prepares us for that. There's
It's
no
true.
talk.
Yeah.
There's no guys. Let's unpack this.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
Right.
go.
There's no social
go
support.
watch this shit. Write your
Yeah,
report.
exactly.
Peter pathology, and
Yeah,
like
and move.
we need to pause and talk about this for a minute.
I know.
And especially for you guys who are dissecting things as 18-year-olds.
Hmm.
I actually cannot believe, I'm still in shock and awe because I cannot believe that happened. That, I mean, there's also, you should tell us in like the comments if you feel like it's better for you to dissect the body or for the body to come dissected, because I would love to hear, like, which one do you think is better? Because
Do you wish you got a chance to dissect yourself?
I feel like it would have been a good learning experience, but I also feel like the emotional baggage.
Will have been excessive.
I feel like
I don't
trust
know.
me. Trust me, it's not as bad as it looks.
Especially, and you ended up dealing with animals when you did BSc.
Oh, yeah, but they were rats.
that's
was
like a
easy.
downgrade.
Yeah, that's like a downgrade. Like,
No, Masa.
they were just like 38 little rats.
Hey, you can't.
Maze,
One little, two
they had
little, three little
families.
rats.
Actually,
He was a rat with like Stuart Little. He had a family.
yeah, he was going home to his wife and kids.
Really though.
Okay, guys, so that's it for part 1 of postmortem experiences. As you can see, we have a lot to talk about. So look forward to part 2 that's going to be dropping next week.
You just want to give a shout out, acknowledgements to AQ Studios, where we are recording. Proudly sponsored by Fellowship Safaris, a product of Dr. Njeri Karyaja here. And we also want to acknowledge Late Night Letters, a blog writing from a scriptwriter, Henry Madaga. So please go check that out. We'll put the link in the bio. You can go ahead and see what they've got. Listen to Fellowship Safaris. Follow us on our socials, Medmic.ke. So until next time, guys.
Bye.
Medmic.ke.
How much would you take to sleep in the morgue for a whole night? Like, what's your price?
That's easy, man.
Nah, like a whole night, lights off.
Yeah.
It's just you. You're the only alive person.
Yeah, see, they're dead. Kuni, they'll wake up.
You would sleep in the morgue.
You mean like as a desperate
See, pay me
medical
well.
intern?
Yeah.
Nah.
It's
just a kiki.
I take 3M.
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 Okay, that's too cheap.
As a desperate medical intern.
Desperate
I will.
medical intern,
Yeah.
yeah. Nayo ni bei ya jioni.
Yeah.